In that last video, we talked about the long-run aggregate supply representing economic growth as it shifts to the right. And we also said, though, it can get really messy when you put aggregate demand and short-run aggregate supply on there because you've got all these short-run fluctuations occurring as those curves shift around long-run aggregate supply. So you've got growth represented by the long-run aggregate supply curve, but you've also got these fluctuations. And the timing matters. And so when you draw it on a piece of paper, it's difficult. Now, you could animate it, or you could dance. And I like to dance. So here's the dance. I am a vertical long-run aggregate supply curve. Vertical at potential output. So as the economy grows, as I get more resources and better technology, I shift to the right. There's our economic growth that we drew. But at the same time that that's happening, the economy is moving and changing and fluctuating. We've got the short-run aggregate supply curve and the aggregate demand curve. If they intersect over here, we've got a recessionary gap. We're at full employment now. We're at an inflationary gap. So as long-run aggregate supply is changing and shifting, so are these curves as they fluctuate around. So if we do the dance, we start down here, we're at full employment. As the economy grows, oh, we got a recessionary gap. It's still growing, but we had an inflationary gap. So the economy, aggregate demand and aggregate supply are shifting around as the economy is growing. So when you do the dance, set it up, and then start moving and shifting the curves. But all the while that we're seeing these fluctuations occur, we see economic growth happening. Now, another thing that helps is this gives us a little context. Why does the price level seem to always rise over time? Well, we have inflationary gaps, recessionary gaps as we move back and as we move around long-run aggregate supply. But over time, we do see those curves kind of spiral up around long-run aggregate supply. That might give us a little context for telling the story of, how does this model match with the historical evidence that we see? Well, hopefully that dance will give you something to do in class. It's a little bit of fun. If not, just an understanding of how dynamic the aggregate demand and aggregate supply model can be.